Welcome back each and everyone watching Mama Rugagasaba Television. Thank you for being with us. You're going to be with me, Kamikaze Gisline. Now let's kick off the news headlines. Rwanda nominates Mushikiwabo for third term as OIF Secretary General. Rwanda calls Indian investors as Rembrandt Gujarat Conference. On the international news, Kampala decked in colors of Ugandan President's Party ahead of polls. Now let's take a short break. Be back on the news details. Welcome back. This is news in Rwanda. The government of Rwanda has announced its decision to renominate Mushikiwabo for third term as Secretary General of the International Organization of Francophonie. The next leader of the Francophone body is expected to be confirmed on the 20th OIF summit scheduled to take place in Phnom Penh, Cambodia within the next 10 months. Rwanda's Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Olivier Nduhungirehe, confirmed the decision in an interview with Jeune Afrique, where he also addressed regional security challenges in the Great Lakes region. Mushikiwabo's second term concludes later this year, prompting the opening of the nomination process, which runs until the end of April. Moving ahead, Rwanda has highlighted a wide range of investment opportunities to Indian investors, emphasizing incentives and policies designed to ease foreign business operations. This was reaffirmed by Rwanda's ambassador to India, Jacqueline Mukangira, in an interview with IANS on January 11, 2026, following Vibrant Gujarat Regional Conference, an event aimed at boosting trade and investment in India's Gujarat state. Ambassador Mukangira encouraged Gujarati investors to explore opportunities in Rwanda, noting that the two countries already enjoy strong cooperation in investment. She stressed that Rwanda offers a corruption-free environment and investor-friendly policies, including tax incentives. She also pointed out that Rwanda and India maintain strong bilateral relations, with many Indian nationals, particularly from Gujarat, already operating businesses in Rwanda. India is Rwanda's second largest trading and investment partner, supplying technology, pharmaceuticals, lice, and other goods. Bilateral ties strengthened by Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's 2018 visit to Rwanda continue to expand across multiple sectors, including trade, education, technology, and agriculture. Turning to the next story, the Ministry of Education has launched a nationwide campaign to promote cleanliness and hygiene in schools as part of broader government efforts to strengthen culture of hygiene across Rwanda. The initiative, dubbed Fresh Air Kwishuri Cleanliness at School, was officially launched on Monday by Minister of Education, Joseph Tegibana. Speaking at JSKM School in Kicukiro District, where students, teachers, and administrators took part in community cleanup exercise, Tegibana said school were a key focus because they host a large portion of the population. He noted that nearly 1/3 of Rwandans are enrolled in schools, making them critical spaces for shaping long-term hygiene habits. The campaign will be rolled out nationwide during the second school term and monitored to ensure sustained implementation. Mineduc also called on parents to support student hygiene at home. The launch was held simultaneously in several districts, including Musanze, Bugesera, Rubavu, Rusizi, Nyagatare, and Kalonji, with the participation of senior government officials. Now let's take a short break. Be back on the international news.
Yego nshuti bakunzi rero mukurikira ibiganiro byacu Scovia Fashion Shop munoneho kugira ngo muyibone uraturuka kuri Rwanda-Revenue hari akarenge kanditsemo Scovia Fashion Shop
muri nyubako ya Mike
muri Mike ako karenge kari mu ibara ritukura iyo urebye hasi ibara ritukura aribona harimo numero za telefone wahamagara ako karenge kanditsemo Scovia Fashion ugakurikire karakujyana mu iduka ngo pi
Welcome back on the international news. With just days to go to Uganda's general election, streets in the capital Kampala are decked out in campaign posters for incumbent President Yoweri Museveni. Sandra Tumukunde has more to this story.
Let's start with international news in Africa. The 81-year-old leader of National Resilience Movement Party, who has led the country since 1986, is seeking election. Despite his age and growing concern about his government's suppression of political opponents, human rights abuses, and corruption scandals, Museveni's supporters remain steadfast. Lydia Nansagwa, who is the secretary of the National Resilience Movement, his party, National Mobile Task Force, said the opposition's promises of a new country leaves a lot of unknown. One of Africa's oldest leader, Museveni's government has changed the constitution twice to remove age and term limit to allow him to stand in the polls. A former labor, he has been credited with stabilizing Uganda, promoting economic growth, and combating HIV/AIDS. General polls, the authorities have detained hundreds of opposition supporters. The election will again pit Museveni against the 43-year-old pop star turned politician known as Bobi Wine. Light group Amnesty International earlier this week accused Ugandan security forces of launching a brutal campaign of repression against Wine's supporters. Now, concluding to our next story, the European Union's foreign policy chief Kaja Kallas has said that the bloc is prepared to push for fresh sanctions on Iran after a crackdown that has reportedly claimed hundreds of lives since protests began nearly 2 weeks ago. Kallas and the European Union's diplomatic army has the European External Action Service stand ready to propose new sanctions, a spokesperson told the News, adding to the wide range of sanctions already in place against Iran. Kallas' initiative comes as Iran's death toll continues to rise following demonstrations that erupted on 28 December over the collapse of the Iranian lie. According to the report by the US-based human rights activities news agency, more than 10,600 people have been detained during 2 weeks of protests. Of the reported fatalities, 48 were security personnel and 496 were demonstrators. Now, concluding our international news, Israel is said to advance 2 major illegal settlement plans for occupied East Jerusalem, which Palestinian officials and expert one will serve as the final blow top for contiguous Palestinian state. The Jerusalem governorate announced on Sunday that Israeli authorities will discuss approving 9,000 settlement units of the Kalandia airport, also known as Atalo, and a separate project in Sheikh Jarrah to displace 40 families. This is the end of our international news. My name is Sandra Tumukunde and this is Mamorgo Gisabo TV.
As we come to the end of today's news edition, let's remind you of the top stories that we talked about. Rwanda renominates Mushikiwabo for third term as OIF Secretary General. Rwanda quotes Indian investors at Vibrant Gujarat Conference. On the international news, Kampala decked in colors of Ugandan President's Party ahead of polls. And this marks the end. Stay tuned.